Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a sense of connection? A feeling that you are part of something much, much bigger? What if that connection is more than just a feeling? What if the stars are not just above us, but also within us? Could it be that tucked away in the intricate, spiraling code of our very being there lies a secret? A message from a distant past, a whisper from an alien world? The question isn't just science fiction anymore, it's a profound thought scientists are beginning to explore. Are we a purely Earth-born phenomenon, or does our DNA harbor an extraterrestrial legacy? To begin this journey, we must first understand what makes us us. Deep inside every one of your cells is a molecule called deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. It's the master blueprint, the architect's plan for building you. This elegant double helix structure contains all the instructions needed for you to grow, to function, to live. It dictates the color of your eyes, the shape of your nose, and the very way your heart beats in your chest. It is the language of life, written in a four-letter alphabet, A, T, C, G. Every living thing on Earth, from the smallest bacterium to the largest blue whale, uses this same fundamental code. This shared genetic language is powerful evidence for a common ancestry. It tells a story of evolution stretching back billions of years to a single origin point on our planet. But is the story truly that simple? Imagine life not as an isolated event but as a cosmic imperative. The universe is made of the same stuff everywhere. The carbon in your body, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, all of it was forged in the fiery hearts of dying stars. These elements were then scattered across the galaxy, seeding new star systems, seeding new planets with the raw materials for life. We are, in a very real sense, stardust. So if the building blocks for life are universal, is it so strange to think that life itself might be as well? And if life exists elsewhere, could it have found its way here? One of the most compelling theories that bridges the gap between cosmic chemistry and terrestrial biology is called panspermia. The word means seeds everywhere. This is the idea that life did not originate on Earth. Instead, it arrived here from space. Hardy microorganisms, perhaps like the incredibly resilient tardigrades found on Earth, could have hitched a ride on asteroids, could have hitched a ride on comets. These tiny microscopic astronauts would have been encased in rock, shielded from the harsh radiation of space, traveling for eons in a deep slumber. Then, billions of years ago, one of these celestial messengers crashed into the primordial oceans of a young Earth, releasing its precious cargo. This doesn't solve the ultimate mystery of how life began, of course. It simply moves the location of that incredible event to another, older world somewhere else in our galaxy. But it opens up a breathtaking possibility. If life on Earth was seeded from space, then the DNA within that first microbe was, by definition, alien DNA. And since all life on our planet, including us, descended from that common ancestor, it would mean that we are all, in a fundamental way, the descendants of extraterrestrial life. Our entire evolutionary tree would have its roots not in Earth's soil, but in the cosmos. This concept changes everything. It might sound like something from a movie, but it has been considered by serious scientists for over a century. The astronomer Fred Hoyle was a famous proponent. He argued the constant arrival of viruses and bacteria from space drove major evolutionary leaps on Earth, including the Cambrian explosion. Could life really endure the brutal conditions of interplanetary travel, the vacuum of space, the freezing temperatures, the bombardment of cosmic radiation? Yet we keep discovering life in places we once thought impossible. Extremophiles, as they're called, thrive near volcanic vents at the bottom of the ocean, in highly acidic waters and even within solid rock. Some bacteria, when dormant, can survive immense doses of radiation, far more than a human ever could. Scientists have even put this to the test. In experiments conducted on the outside of the International Space Station, bacteria were exposed to the harsh environment of space for years. When they were brought back to Earth, some of them survived, they were revived and began to multiply once more. This demonstrates that the rocky shield of a meteorite might be more than enough protection for a long journey between planets. Say, from Mars to Earth. It proves that the fundamental premise of panspermia is plausible. Life is tough. It finds a way. And space might not be the insurmountable barrier we once imagined it to be. When the Human Genome Project was completed, scientists were met with a startling revelation. It turns out that the genes that code for all the proteins in your body, the parts that make you, well, you, account for less than 2% of your entire DNA. So, what about the other 98%? For a long time, scientists called it junk DNA. assuming it was just evolutionary leftovers with no current function. But that perspective is changing. It was an assumption born from ignorance. We're discovering this junk DNA is anything but junk. It regulates which genes get turned on and off, and when. It's the conductor of our genetic orchestra, ensuring the right notes play at the right time. But even with these insights, the size and complexity of non-coding DNA is baffling. Some researchers propose a radical idea. What if some sequences aren't regulatory at all? What if they're a message? Think about it. If an advanced extraterrestrial civilization wanted a durable message for a developing intelligence, where would they put it? Monuments can crumble, planets can die. DNA is self-replicating and self-repairing. It can be passed down for billions of years. It's the most robust information storage system known. Physicists Paul Davies and Vladimir Sherbak have proposed a message in a bottle hidden in our DNA, placed there by a galactic predecessor eons ago. A hello world from an ancient civilization. It wouldn't need English, it could be mathematical. A prime number, the value of pi, or a complex pattern. The challenge is finding it. Like finding one marked grain of sand on every beach. But the possibility is electrifying. The human genome is now fully mapped. We have the text. We just need to learn how to read all of its languages. The answer to "Are we alone?" might not be out there in the stars, but right here inside every cell of our bodies. Keep looking up, but also look within. Our greatest discovery might be our own beginning.